Yo, welcome to the Chef Salty Pork Podcast with your hosts Casey and Sean. We're your weekly home for culinary news, insights, tech musings, and everything in between.
That's right. You can also catch us recording and streaming on YouTube at Chef Salty Pork Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to get up-to-date notifications of when we are broadcasting live.
Not right now, because this is pre-recorded.
Yeah, this one is pre-recorded.
Live
hey,
eventually.
Yeah. Still check out,
Sean,
check out our links so you'll know when we are live.
Yes, absolutely. Sean, I got news for you. So remember how I told you my car was flooded over? That was a fun one. I dropped it off Friday, right, last week. They did their thing. Everything is closed here on Sunday, so there's nothing happening on Sunday. So
Sure.
I'm assuming Saturday they did their initial whatever. I got a quote or estimate back Monday.
Oh boy.
Right? And I'm like, okay, cool. How do I, what's the next step? So I'm trying to call Geico because I'm not getting any confirmation or whatever. So yesterday I was on the phone for about almost an hour on Geico. I was like, hey, real quick. So I got the estimate back. Did you guys get anything back from the dealers? Did you guys show anything at all? They're like, no. And I'm like, oh, well, that's unfortunate because I need my car sooner than later because I can't rent out anywhere at all.
Right, yeah.
They're like, interesting.
The rental market is messed up for a whole bunch of reasons.
Yeah. They're like, okay, just give me a second. Where did you take it? Then we went through the whole prompt. She was like, look, I know you waited a long time. How about you call them right now, Subaru? See if we can iron that out. I was like, wow, look at you, forward thinking. I literally called Subaru on the same line. And then I spoke to Chris, who was the guy that was taking care of it. He goes, yeah, no, I submitted the thing. And then she interjected. She's like, by any chance, how did you submit it? He was like, well, I just emailed the one that Casey forwarded it. She's like, yeah, no, that's not how it goes. It should, we have forms. Like, you should know how to do it. And then, homie got pressed. He's like, no, that's not. I've done this before, blah, blah. We just sent it over. I'm like, I kept quiet, Sean. I was just like, yo, somebody fucked up.
Hammer it out.
Yeah. So anyway, literally 2 days delayed. So this is the messed up part, right? They could have literally started this yesterday, or Monday rather, I should say. And I would have had my car back, I don't know, today or tomorrow or some shit. Now it's pushed back another day because they're confirming for funds. Also, FYI, it's $6,000.
So what's the extent of the damage? Like what?
I'm actually going to show you, Sean. Since, as you know already, most everything is technology based, right? Sure. A lot of, most of the cars are all, I'm going to put it onto the screen right here so you can see. This is my actual email. Removal or replacement of the following parts. So the carpet is going to take $450. That's ridiculous. The amp is what blew, pretty much, right? $600.
Yeah.
The entry module, my key doesn't work, Sean. When I press it doesn't do anything. But the seats is what did most of the damage. So the front, both passenger and the driver's side, the seats are fucked. And that's where all the electronics are.
Tire pressure monitoring system is down too. Wow.
Yeah. So all of that in total is, this is the labor, $2,000 in the labor, parts and stuff. Yeah, that's, it's a big one. But anyway, I called insurance. I'm like, hey, or rather I emailed the guy actually, because I got confirmation last night at like 10:30 p.m. I was like, oh my God, look at that. We could have literally had this done all like today. I was like, hey, just making sure what is covered by insurance. He's like, everything is covered except your deductible. Obviously, you have to pay it.
Sure.
I was like, great, good. So I'm not paying $6,000. I'm only paying $500. So it's a win. I think it's a win. It's a pretty good one.
I mean, this is why you pay for insurance, and all things considered, it could have been significantly worse.
Yeah. You think I would have had to pay more if they had to total the car? Maybe. Would that be covered? I don't know.
I mean, they would just then cut you a check for what the car is worth. But then,
like
you'd be in a
valued up.
position where like, it's like, all right, well, you're going to get the book value for the car. And now you need to figure out a new car.
Yeah.
So ultimately that's going to cost you more.
Cost
And
me
I
even
know
more.
like, your car is nice. It's well appointed. So, if they can unsoggy it and give you a new
Unsoggy
radio.
Unsoggy the car. Yes.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good to go. All things considered.
Absolutely.
What's that, man? It's a Subaru, It's good for
It's a Scoobu.
for our
Scoobu.
climate and area, and the build quality is otherwise good. So yeah, for $500 to get back out there,
Yeah.
Plus whatever your increased premium will be over
I know.
time.
I don't want to talk about it. Sean. It's gonna be hiked up like another
that's
fucking $100.
again, man. That's the game. That's the game. They don't get it back.
Yeah, it is the game. I know. Well, it's unfortunate because the only 2 claims that we've ever filed on that account was when we hit the bear.
Oh yeah, the
California
accident.
2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
But that wasn't in your car, right?
Correct. It wasn't in a rental. So I was like, when I was filing the claim first, I'm like, what the hell is this animal thing? And then I clicked on it. I was like, oh my God, it's the bear from 2 years ago. I was like, oh wow, that's okay, great. And then obviously I had to play.
All things considered, I mean, both are acts of God, right?
I couldn't do anything, but it's still though, Sean,
you
it's
literally
$500,
couldn't
man.
do anything. Yeah, $500. It's it's
Better
not that you
than
wanted to pay
6,000.
it, but yeah, definitely
I know.
better than 6,000, and you get some new life on some of those parts there.
Yeah, I guess. I was just like, I was telling my brother, I was like, how much you think would I get if I sold this right now back to Subaru and just fucking down payment like a new car? Like, cause like if you think about it, cause I'm still paying like, insurance and all that. And then like the extended warranty, I'm like, if I'm just going to X out the extended warranty, get a new car, get that whole situation together. And I would still kind of win. Cause now it's a new car. It's almost 10 years old too.
I mean,
The fucking
maybe,
vehicle.
but it's also like the worst time to buy a car.
No,
like
I know.
the worst. Like it's the worst time to buy a car, new or used. It's not a bad time to be selling a used car if it's not like flood damaged. But yeah, it's not the greatest time to buy a car. But all things considered, if you were already in the market, this might be time to kind of jump off the porch and get into something 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, I just want more not backspace, like trunk space. Like when you're hauling like equipment, it feels like it's too little. Like it really is. There's not enough stuff. I would prefer like a hatchback where it just opens up and you can literally push the seats down. You can just haul like a whole bunch of stuff in it. I would be happier, I think, if I were to get one of those cars.
I mean, I know, like, you do your music and you're hauling equipment. Would you be moving on to an SUV? Like, do you think you're at that point, or
No, I don't think so.
Because it's like, where do you go? There's only but a few
What's like the in
wagons
between
on the market.
Like I was looking at the Subaru Outback, so it's like station wagony ish.
Sure, yeah,
really.
yeah. My
It's
mom
like
has one of
short end.
those.
A little higher up, like it feels nice, and it opens up this way in the back. I was thinking more something like that. I don't want a sedan, like I really don't. Like I've been driving Caitlin's car for the past 3 days, and it's the most annoying vehicle, Sean. I just gotta tell you right now.
If you wouldn't mind, what kind of car is it?
It's a Mazda 3.
Okay,
like
so it's a smaller
it's a
car.
small.
Efficient.
I don't know how to explain to you, like when you turn like slightly, bro, that shit turns like it's
I mean,
out
it
that
should.
way.
It's a small car. The
No,
the
I don't
turning
want
radius
it.
is
I
gonna
don't want it
be
to turn that way, Sean.
significantly
I'm gonna
smaller
have
than your
accidents.
car.
I was like the first time I drove it in the house, I was like, whoa, okay, can we stop?
Yeah,
I'm just
how I
trying to
feel
turn everywhere, so it's like
when I go from the SUV to the Honda, like after not having
that's
driven
right,
the Honda
you
for
do
a
have
while.
small
Yeah,
ones.
it's just like this is like a go kart. Like I feel so connected to every turn and movement.
I don't know. I don't like it. That's all I gotta say. I like I like the other one because not necessarily I feel safe, but when you turn, I'm expecting like a smooth, like I'm turning now. The other one, if I'm turning, little jut, you're like over the fucking corner in like a second.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm just like, what kind of crazy power steering is happening? Can we decrease? It's like the sensitivity of your mouse for like gamers. Like
my
this
goodness.
fucking like
that would
it shoots up like left and
that
right.
That would be so crazy to have a small car like that with a wide turning. Oh my! I would not want that. You just meander into traffic with like a small car. Nah, man. I need to be light and agile.
But I get it. I guess if I've driven it longer, it'd feel more.
It would become the new norm to you.
Mm-hmm. My wife also drives weird.
The first days of like being in the SUV, and it's just like I felt like I was in a bathtub.
Right? He was like, yeah,
there's so much room. I can't, I gotta crane my head more, to turn to see different things and rely on cameras because there are just some blind spots that bigger. You can't, negotiate around. But yeah, going back the other way, it's like, all right, I gotta put a backup camera in this little car. I gotta figure it out.
Do you drive one-handed? On the SUV?
No, not yet.
You just drive one-handed and you just like turn like a boss. Just like, yo, I'll turn this way. No. On a small car, I can't even do that, Sean. I have to like literally, I'm 10 and 2, Sean. I'm just like, cannot let go of this fucking steering wheel.
Exactly.
It's just so weird.
Like, you're literally on a wire, like connected to the wheels.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess if I wanted to drive a go-kart. So if everyone listening, if you want to drive a go-kart, Mazda 3,
yeah,
man. The way to go.
Shout out to the Mazda 3.
Guess,
at one point in time, the Mazda 3 was definitely on my list of cars to consider. Yep. Build quality's good. Have some Mazdas in my family that have made it damn near to 300,000 miles. So I was like, all right, there's confidence there. Yeah. And the newest Mazda 3s are really, really nice, like fit and finish wise. So yeah, it's something to consider, but it definitely doesn't work with the size of my growing family.
No, I know. So would you stay with imported cars or would you stay with American cars?
I have never. Well, I can't say I've never driven an American car because I have, but it kind of belonged to an ex-girlfriend of mine, and that car in particular was okay, but I would probably stick with in Japanese imported cars if me too. I've had like the best luck with those.
Mm-hmm. Lots of parts. I mean, I'm not saying that American cars aren't a lot of parts either, but much easier to search. Like, bro, if a Toyota breaks down, thousands upon thousands of stuff with Toyotas and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Ford,
it's like
maybe
all
not
these
so
aftermarket
much.
parts. I was describing I was walking through the neighborhood with my wife this morning, and we were talking about as we were like passing these different cars. We're talking about like, oh, what kind of car would we get for my daughter when she gets into her teens? I was like, we're gonna get her a Toyota because they're like toasters. Yeah, like toasters don't break; they just toast. Yeah, man. And they're like inoffensive. They're well designed, and they do what they do. And for your first car, I feel like that's what's important, right? It should be built well, reliable, and if something were to break, there needs to be good parts available. Like I had when my first car was a Saab, and it was like the worst idea for that, for all of those reasons. It's like the car was okay, but the parts availability was trash. So like when things broke because it was an older used car, like I'd be asked out until we could find the parts, and then you had to find someone who knew how to fix the car. And there was one
what is
issue
Saab? Is that German?
It sucked.
What's Saab? Is that a German car?
And Saab is Swedish. Yeah. They don't. Yeah, and there was a Swedish company that at one time was owned by. Toward the end of the company's life, was owned by General Motors, and they no longer make cars anymore. But again, for a lot of different reasons. But like I got my Saab right toward the end of when they were manufacturing cars, and my car wasn't the brand new, so parts availability was not that great. But shout out to the Saab 900 and the Saab 93. We had some good memories in you for the short time I had.
I mean, my aunt had a Toyota Corona before
Hey,
they
shout
transitioned
out
to Corolla.
Yeah, shout out to the Corona.
It looked like fucking from like this straight up 70s body, you know, hard corners, sharp and shit. Everything was broken, Sean. It had like 375,000 miles on it. It still ran though. It still ran like a fucking perfect car out of the lot, even though everything inside was busted. Everything was breaking apart. You cannot kill that fucking engine. I guarantee you, if they didn't leave, because my aunt's no longer here in the States, she's back in the Philippines. If they stayed here, that car would still be theirs. Because it was like, it was perfect. 4-speed, can't fuck with it. Like it ran like a motherfucker. Yeah. None of the gauges worked. They just guessed to put gas in it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The lights barely worked, and it stick shift. Like, yo, this shit seen some shit, but it ran. So it was crazy.
You know, and again, you know, some things are gonna just break over time, right? Like rubber seals are gonna crack and get old, hoses are gonna break, wires are gonna short. Like you can't really get around that. But it's the other components that, like, you know, are super, super crucial to like having a running car. And with my Saab in particular, I remember like it was a very, very cold morning and I hadn't like driven a car for like a week or something like that. And I went to cold start it and like the engine turned on, it shuddered, and then I heard metal shoot from underneath the car. And my dad and I are just like in the driveway like, well, he's like, I guess you're using my car for the next couple of days. As we figure out, like, you know, need to put the car in a flatbed and ship it to like a Saab specialist, like, you know, in a different part of the state to source an engine, you know, like source a whole nother engine. And, you know, again, like we were able to get it fixed. It was not cheap, you know. In hindsight, it might have been better. We would have probably been better off just sinking that money into something else. But, you know, it made it through another winter and a half, and then I moved on to something else.
Got it. So did you pawn it off? Did you just sell it? You're like, nah, fuck it.
No, I think, what did we do? At the end, I ended up donating the car for like a tax credit to like a charity for the blind. Yeah, because like when it broke down the next time, like I was like, well, what are we gonna, like, I literally can't move this thing. It's just been sitting here in the backyard for like a few, like, I feel like, again, it was another winter. So it might have sat in the backyard under a tarp until the spring. And then, you know, made it happen and got it up and out of there.
Okay. You know, tax write-offs. That's what's up.
Yeah, you know, that was the end of my
your Saab legacy, with the Saab. You should say.
Yeah. It's a weird car, man. Like the key where like the ignition switch was like down by the gear shift. It was just, yeah. So instead of like, you know, like you put your key
instead of
by
here,
like,
it's here.
Yeah, down there. And like, because Saab was like a company that used to make planes, the way they designed the dashboard, it was like a cockpit. So like the gauges look like airplane dials. And if you imagine,
kinda cool,
instead of the dashboard being flat across the front, it was tilted on one side toward the driver.
Left side.
Well, imagine it wraps from, if you're in the left seat, your driver's side seat, it slants from the left and kind of wraps around you to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like,
wow,
yeah,
weird.
So yeah, it was, again, weird car. It was cool. It was cool. You know, it was cool. It was cool for what it was. It was a big, safe, slow car that I'm glad that I learned how to drive in. But it wasn't the most reliable one. So for that, I would definitely say get yourself a Honda or Toyota. Oil change it up, and you'll be golden. You know, all you'll need to do is repaint it in a few years.
For the longest time, I wanted like an old car. When I say old car, like old people car, because they make them seats fucking lush. Like I'm talking like a Lincoln or like a Grand Marquis or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you sit down and you're like, yo, my ass feels good. You know, like
for real,
you feel all nice and shit.
A whole sofa with like the air suspension beneath it, so like you really feel like you're gonna fall asleep if you're a passenger.
It's so nice.
Man, I remember one of my basketball coaches. This is this dude. His nickname was Hat. I forget what his name is now, but Hat. Shout out to Hat. And he picked me up from a game one time to like drive me home back, back home to my parents. And he pulled up in his like Lincoln Mark 8 or whatever it was, like a
Yeah,
it was like
yeah,
a Lincoln
yeah.
it was like a Lincoln Continental coupe. And like I
Oh,
like
shit.
sank into the chair. I just felt like I was in heaven, like because of
Yeah,
like
it
how
felt so good.
lush that seat was. And it
Yeah.
was a drive across Brooklyn, and at the time there was potholes and stuff, but like
Yeah.
the
Didn't you feel
potholes
it?
felt like suggestions, like because of like the way the suspension, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
the most comfortable car that I've ever sat in.
Now I
As
kind of want
opposed
to
to other
Lincoln.
cars that are like tuned for like sport. So like,
Yeah.
if you hit a pothole, you feel like you need to immediately book an appointment with a chiropractor or something.
Yeah. Cars. That's all I gotta say. Cars.
Yeah, man.
Eventually, it's at 100,000 miles now. I don't really drive the car too much.
That's great. How many? What? It was like a 2013.
It's a 12. Yeah, it's a 2012.
So, dude, that's still great. You got
it's like
less
perfect.
Than,
I know.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You've seen a third of the life on that car. Should you
Yeah,
decide to
yeah.
ride it all the way out? So yeah, for
Like, they were saying,
$500,
like, Subarus will go like over 300,000 easy. They have lots. They have cars in the lot. They're over 300,000, still fucking working condition. Obviously, they're older, but
Yeah.
that's like their showpieces. They're like, just to let you know, this has been us like 30 years. Still rides, same shit. But for $500, that's what I'm saying. You can't beat it. So
Nah, not at all.
I'd still would like a new car. That's eventually.
Sure. Again, yeah, it's like, there are going to be some lifestyle changes, or, you just can't get around, right? Like if you need more trunk space, you're not going to cut a hole in your trunk and build a roof, and, like you're going to need another vehicle
Yeah,
or
I get
another
you.
solution. But I don't know.
Well, to ask you too, like, since I guess, like I said, you have a kid, right? Did you feel that upgrading to the minivan was like the best way? Like, did you think getting like maybe just like a regular SUV would have been efficient, or would the minivan, like, I should say, did it solve your issues and your problems when you finally had a kid? Because it's,
Well, I would definitely
you're
say
buying
that
it for space.
We didn't get a minivan. We did get an SUV, but like
Oh, okay,
a
SUV.
minivan would have been. I don't know. It wouldn't have been practical for all things considered.
Okay.
Because like I don't know. At some point, you got to like think about the cost benefit of like paying more for fuel, and what are you doing with all that extra space all the time, right? Like if you
got it.
It's like for us, it's the three of us for the most part, and sometimes my mother-in-law goes for rides, and it's more than enough space for all of us and storage for a day trip, right? Which is
Then
fine.
you're good.
And we live here in the city, so we're not going too far. Like would a smaller car been more fuel efficient? Sure, but this car still gets like high 20s on the city streets and like in the 30s
Oh, wow.
on the highway, so it's good.
Yeah,
it's
that's good.
Yeah, and then like I said, it works. Should our family grow, maybe we consider something else, but I don't think that would be something that we would need to realistically entertain for some time.
Got it. Because I was just wondering. I always like to not future proof, but like wonder. Okay, in the future, maybe, right? What if? I always like asking that question, because I'm like, what if I need X, Y, Z? Like right now, specifically for my needs, I literally need more trunk space. Just a guitar, a cab, like a speaker cab, and like my 3 of my bags for effects, and like the little stomping light that we have. That's everything and more.
Sure.
Then I have to stick shit in the back seat.
In the back seat, right?
Like I have no space for, even though it's 5 items. I can't necessarily like stack them on top of each other. They need to be away from itself. So it's pretty. I don't know. Again,
It's funny.
that
I
drops
think
down the seats.
when you're in the market to truly move on to something else, you should pack all your stuff in your car and bring it to the dealership
And bring it, yeah. I think
and
that's a
stage
great-
it. Like seriously, like you want to understand like how are you going to live with this stuff, because like I would hate, considering these are things that you need to bring with you when you gig, to underestimate how much space something truly is. And like I remember when we were doing our research on SUVs, like despite the difference of the size of the car, because of the way things are arranged, like the height of the floor of the trunk, or the way the seats are positioned or can be positioned, can considerably change how much cubic inches you have for for the storage of different things. And there were actually cars that were smaller that had more storage space than others.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then again, like in particular, since we were going to be carrying a car seat, for the foreseeable future, it was like super crucial to be like, all right, cool, we're going to sit in this car at the dealership and I'm going to put the car seat in the back. I need to see like, how does this fit? Like if you turn it around the other way, like is the car seat going to fit? But my kid has to sit, crisscross legs because, I wanted something with like a better fit and finish. It's like, hey, Victoria or myself, right? One of us needs to sit in the passenger seat in front of the car seat to see like how far can you push the seat back? Like how are you going to be comfortable for an extended trip? Like how, so I would definitely say like, hey, any salesman worth their salt should be fine with you saying like, hey, I need this thing to do this thing. What's the best fit? Let's try it out. Here's my gear,
Yeah.
Obviously you don't want to bring it. Like bring it here. They'd be like, look, my car's out in front. I'm willing to make a move, but it needs to work out for me. So meet me where I am.
I think I should just bring like cardboard boxes of the same configuration.
Yeah.
I don't want to scratch your fucking.
Yeah.
But that's a great idea. Yeah. I definitely want to. It's a good. It's a good.
Yeah. Again, it's like tip, maybe there could be something that works for you, and since you don't have kids right now, like hey, if you fold down the seats, this car would work for you. It's an it's an SUV of this size. It'll work for you, and you save some money here or there on that. Yeah. Because I mean, it's funny. Like all these thoughts, like different configurations of a car could change the cargo space. Like, hey, did you get one with the upgraded stereo? Well, that means that the subwoofer is now in the floor of the trunk, and because of that, you can't fold the seats in this way. And you wouldn't know it, and from the outside looking in, you're just like, oh, it's the same size car. I've seen someone else with the same car. All their stuff fits, but it's not going to fit for you because you got this feature or didn't. So, things to consider.
Talking about subwoofers, yay or nay?
Yeah, I can. You know me. I'm always going to divert to audio, and gadgetry. I'm just saying, like, even if let's say you happen to be on like the used lot of a dealership, and you're just like, oh man, this is the right price for me. But that's a feature that again you weren't trying to pay for, but just happens to be there. But it could impact your storage space as well.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, at least for me, it's all about the gear because I need easier access going to and from gig spaces, and it's clearly lacking in my current vehicle. And also, like, I want to keep it in the Subaru family only because, or like at least like a 4-wheel drive. Sure. Again, for the just in case it just happened, crazy storm or some shit like that. But like water damage is so unreal, bro. It's nuts. Cause like in snow, bro, I churn through that like butter. It's kind of dangerous on that car. It's like you don't feel it, and I'm like, I should slow down. I really should be more mindful of everybody else, even though my car can go through this. But in water, man, I can imagine if I just had a regular vehicle and try to drive through that shit, it would have it would just stalled. I think it would just.
I can't imagine what it would have been like to drive through some of those storms in the Honda, because it's like significantly lower by design, right? Like it'd be all sorts of waterlogged, and maybe we'd be looking at the insurance company for to just be totaled out at that point. But
oh man, it's that's the whole prolonged story. Hopefully I get it back soon. I still can't rent anything here in Jersey unless I go like, I don't know, like up in Wayne or some shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna go all the way to Wayne
man.
just to rent a car. Like that's
a rental car for a lot of reasons. One is the shortage of car parts, which means that there are less cars being purchased, and also because there were less cars being purchased, and with COVID concerns, a lot of people were deciding to go on their vacations in rental cars. So like at the height of the vacation season, all the cars that would have been available were being usurped, and the ones that were left, you're getting charged a crazy premium just to get. So like cars that you might have been able to rent for like $50 to $100 a day were going for $250 to $300 to $400 a day, just because
it's ridiculous.
And the rental market, they can't rent used cars, right? Like they only keep cars around for 15,000 to less than 30,000 miles, because they want to be able to make sure that they're renting you a car that works, right? Like,
I did not know that. I thought they just like whatever is on their lot, they just bring
then
it
they
up,
sell.
whatever, and then
they sell.
Oh, and then they sell.
Once they get to a certain mileage threshold, like you can purchase, a used car from Enterprise, and it's gonna just be at like the mileage threshold that keeps you within like some of the warranty from the original manufacturer. But because there were no cars, they weren't buying cars, and then everyone was like, I'm not getting on a plane, I'm gonna go on a road trip, and then there's no cars. And then you have a thing like, in this area where like a lot of people's cars got flood damage, they're gonna turn to the car rental market, and it's gonna be even more scarce. So I could see how you feel like, to even get a car, you need to go way out of the way to get it.
Go north, or go out. Like literally, I can go all the way south, almost like Plainfield. So it's almost like an hour out. I'm like, I'm not gonna go all the way out there just for a fucking car. And also, sorry for the crazy light right now. So what happened, Sean? They took out all the fucking trees outside. Not took out.
Yeah, I was like, you got some serious God rays happening.
Yeah, got some serious glare happening on this side. But since the storm, a lot of the trees were like smacking into I'm assuming the apartments. A lot of overhang, and they didn't want any of that. So they just chopped off like the good size on the halves of it. And then now I have crazy light coming in. It's kind of nice, but other than that, it's nothing too crazy. Sean, I do have a few things though before we do end. Want to show you. I kind of wanted to get into the iPhone 13. I know you're a big iPhone fan, but like at the same time, I kind of want to wait. I want to wait one more week.
Okay.
Only because I have some buddies that have it and purchased it, which is insane to me. I'm just like, bro, you just got a phone like 6 weeks ago. Like, are you nuts? It's just that's like their whole life. I get it. However the fuck you spend your money, that's your money, bro. Sure. I'm just saying, you're crazy. You're crazy. Anyway, on this one though, Sean, check this out. Mega Slice of General Tso's pizza.
Whoa.
It's like, whoa.
What is what is at the top of the crust there?
I think it's like little knots with filled with cheese, I'm assuming, like garlic knots. I have no idea.
That is interesting.
New Jersey's Pizzeria's Madhouse approach to Italian American favorites. I don't even know where this is. I'm assuming it's like, Joe's Rotisseria in Jersey. I don't know where in Jersey, but a General Tso's chicken pizza.
I think, I think you'd have to
you'd
try
mess with it.
I think so.
Okay.
It's so curious. I am curious about a lot of things. Like, why is it so big? Why General Tso's? And what is going on with that crust? So, at least two of those questions I feel like I need to have answered. So, I am for a slice of that pizza.
Okay. Walmart exclusively selling a huge 488-piece Halloween candy box. This is kind of cute. I thought it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like an everything package already as Halloween is approaching.
Packaging. Do you think
488 though?
I was just thinking that. I was like, that's a lot of pieces of candy.
That's a lot. It's a lot, my guy.
How many pieces
for $30
of candy
though?
do you? Yeah, I mean 20. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, it's the minis. It says mini
pieces.
Mini.
Okay.
So I'm
Jolly
assuming
Ranchers,
like
Rolos, Reese's, Twizzlers. So how many?
Jolly Ranchers,
if you
like
took a
pieces,
handful
maybe?
of those candies, how many pieces do you think you're getting a good handful?
Like 10, maybe.
Okay.
adult 10.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
know?
yeah, you're sort of adult 10. Was that like a kid?
If you're a kid, maybe like 3 or 4, just like, oh, cool, thank you, la la. Just say trick or treat, and then, out you go. I think it's kind of a cool investment. It's like a whole bunch of things already. $30 though. I dig that. It's kind of cheap, sorta.
Yeah.
On October 31st though. You have to wait quite a bit. So, I don't know. Could be a little too late. I don't know. I don't know how parents.
Yeah, I feel like
do that thing,
you
but
should get that up and out, beforehand, so people can have
even
it
earlier.
Yeah, ready in their homes and ready for the Halloween candy extravaganza.
I don't know.
But I do like the idea of that mixed pack of candy. Saves a lot of guesswork. And,
like you don't have to choose different.
And it looks like you could serve it out
already.
of the container, right? So like if you don't even have, you can pop that bad boy open, and hey, grab your handful of Kit Kats.
And then finally, Sean, Kit Kat's the chunky version with Cinnabon. So like this is like half and half, I guess. It's kind of crazy, right? It has like this I'm assuming Cinnabon filling. That's what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that's what that is.
And it's like a big chunker. Look at it. It's like almost like a Snicker bar.
Yeah. I don't know if I could commit to the whole bar, but I would definitely go for a bite.
Would you try it? Yeah.
Yeah, I would try.
I think Caitlin will go crazy for this, man. She loves Kit Kat. Loves Kit Kat.
I would love to be walking through like the aisles of a Costco and someone sachets up with a tray of those, and they're just like Cinnabon Kit Kat, and I'm like, I was here for the Kirkland lemonade, but I think I will.
Sachets out.
Yeah, man. You're gonna saunter up with one of those. You can find me in any aisle with one of those. I am definitely gonna sample it.
Okay. It's a good idea all the way to right. Yeah, man.
Meet
Not too crazy though.
Meet me in the parking lot.
Meet me in the parking lot. Like we mentioned, it's just Halloween that we're waiting on in terms of restaurant. I know we haven't really been talking restaurants so much. However, as soon as we get to, I don't want to say October because October is next week, but really mid-October, when the fall switch is over, we'll start ironing out some new concept, new dishes, or new fall ingredients that we can run at the restaurant. I know we're going through a little phase right now at the restaurant where we're switching into fall menu. So lots of that stuff is moving away. So I'll let you know how that transpires. But anything other than that, though, I really want to hear your take on the iPhone 13 next week.
Oh yeah,
and
for
whatever
sure.
Else
We can.
That's coming out because I know you're an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm
aficionado.
definitely an iPhone dude, and I can tell everyone ahead of time I did not get an iPhone 13. Probably will not be, but yeah, we can definitely get into the why next week.
The Pixel 6, though, so excited for it. So excited for it. My phone is not due, but it's been like almost 2 years. I love the Samsung shit, but I love the Pixel shit. Like I'm for it. I don't know what it is. Just feels great. It was my favorite phone ever. So in terms of all that, but anyway, Sean, if you wanna just ask him out, however you feel, a quote of the day, a phrase of the day, something. Give him a tip. Give him a hot take. I'm over these Cheetos shit. I'm telling you right now. That's my hot take. Everything Cheetos or the hot, spicy, whatever. Can we all just chill the hell with that? Because it's annoying as shit now. Now it's just like, okay, cool. Now you're just riding on the fad.
Yeah. I guess my hot take would be an impassioned plea for everyone out there. It's like, look, like I understand that, the world is opening up in different ways. And that's going to require a little bit of all of us to, have a semi-standard functioning society. But we got to do our parts, man. So seriously, wear your masks. If you've been vaccinated already, have your information at the ready for when you're walking into these establishments. Try not to give any friction to someone who is asking this information. Because like we were watching the news the other day, and it's like there needs to be spotted stories of like all sorts of friction at like restaurants and businesses as people are asking for vaccination cards. It's like, dude, no one wants to do this, right? Like we would all rather just things be like they used to be, but they're not. But if you want to get there between now and then, have your information at the ready, you know, and understand like, look, if you don't have your information there, you have to find a different way to, you know, get these goods and products. I mean, the other day, walked into a restaurant, you know, with my wife to sit down and eat. And usually I literally have my vaccination card on me. And I didn't have a picture of it.
Oh, snap.
And again, and when I realized, I was like, okay, cool. So we're going to order, take something to go. And, you know, as soon as I got back in the house, made sure that I had a picture of the card on me. Like I literally walked with the card and just didn't take a picture of it. You know, put it in the drawer, didn't take a picture. There was no static. You know, these are the expectations of, you know, everyone trying to do what they can to be safe. Like, I know that I'm vaccinated, you know, but it wasn't worth putting up a fight, you know, and like, why would you do that? Just be prepared. Be prepared. These are the things that are like, are the expectation. So try to do your best, put your ego aside, and just be ready to just get out there. So that's what I got for everyone. Bro. It's just like, hey, be prepared. Like these at this point in time, these are not secrets. They're not secrets.
Yeah, should be. It's not a prerequisite, but it's assumed of everybody. Yeah, just to be safe.
Yeah, again, it's like, look,
and they're not doing it too.
I don't know what it would actually take to convince someone at this point to get vaccinated or not. You know, like, I don't know. It's like, it's been free. There's been incentives. There's been PR campaigns. I mean, I literally saw at one point, you know, the city of New York was giving out Xboxes with a copy of NBA 2K. And I was like, damn, I got vaccinated. I might go get another shot. Shit. I'd like another Xbox, but still, like, it's just like, at this point, like, we're kind of past that. So rather than be an ass in the vestibule of some place that you wanted to pay to eat or pay to get into, just be prepared. However that's going to be. Like I said, if you're not going to take the steps to get vaccinated, well, then get your order to go or figure it out another way. And if you are, just make sure you got your stuff handy so, you know, you can just do what you'd like to do. Do what you got to do. And that's what I got.
Cool. All right, y'all. You can get all our information on Chef Salty Pork Podcast. Any questions at all, ask Chef Salty on gmail.com. However, from us both, though,
peace out, Internet.